one way of observation of whatever it is we are doing. So when I draw a graph between two physical quantities, right, I am going to have a y-axis, and then I'm going to have an x-axis, and on this I am going to draw a graph, and like we discussed in the last class, maybe the graph comes out like this. Okay, maybe the graph comes out like this from whatever data that experiment gives us. And I told you in the last class that we can measure something called the slope of this straight line, and the slope of this straight line is a measure of the inclination of the straight line, right? So what is that going to tell us? Well, if the straight line is less inclined, that means that whatever physical quantity is here, right, whatever physical quantity is here, we want to measure the change in that physical quantity, right? So whatever physical quantity is here, the change is very, very small. And if the slope of the straight line is large, that means if the straight line is inclined like this, then whatever change occurs here, the corresponding change here is very, very large, right? Okay. And I think I can show this to you as well. So if I were to draw the x-axis and the y-axis again, and if I were to draw a straight line like this, and if I were to draw a straight line like this, then for this corresponding change in x, so the x quantity is changing from this value to this value, the corresponding change in y happens from this value to this value, right? So this is the change in y, and this is the change in x. Now you will find that we in physics are extremely lazy people, right? So what we want to do is we want to reduce the burden of writing something down. ठीक है, मैं बड़े sentence, I don't want to write that. I hate that. So therefore what I will do is I will invent symbols which replace sentences in English, right? And that is basically what you have to remember, because like we discussed in the last class, this is a new language that you are learning, and the alphabets of this new language are these symbols which are used to replace certain words in English. So like I said, that I will introduce this symbol which will be read as, okay, remember, this will be read as delta x. Okay, this will be read as delta x. It is not the symbol delta multiplied by the variable x, no. It is a single object, it is a single entity, okay, delta x, single object. And this is basically going to represent the change in x, right? So every time I am saying change in x, change in x, change in y, change in y, I don't want to do that. So therefore I am just going to say that, look, this is the change in x and corresponding change in y is this. See, makes my life very easy. Similarly, for the other graph, I can say that for the same change in x, okay, for the same change in x, this quantity and this quantity are same, the change in y is very different. The change in y is very different. So this is delta y and this is delta x, right? I can say that this is delta x for the first graph, and therefore this is delta y for the first graph. I can say that this is delta x for the first graph, sorry, I can say that this is delta x for the second graph. Just rub this out. This is delta x for the second graph, and this is delta y for the second graph, right? And now I can talk to you about the comparison of these two graphs. So for the change in delta x for the first graph, which is this one, and the change in x for the second graph, which is this one, the corresponding change in y is different. Yeah, okay. So there is something, this graph is representing something else and this graph is representing something else. So we want to measure, like I said in the last class, we want to measure the slope of this graph. Okay, please notice that for the same change in delta x, for the first graph delta y is small, for the second graph delta y is large. Therefore, for this graph delta y will be small for the same delta x. For this graph delta y will be large for the same delta x. Right? Okay. Therefore, we say that the slope of this graph is large and the slope of this graph is small. And a very nice way of measuring the slope is to measure the angle made by the straight line with the positive x-axis, right? Now somebody asked me a very, very nice question in the last class, that why do you take this as anti-clockwise? Well, the answer is that this is conventional. Okay, this is conventional. So all angles that we measure in physics are measured from the positive x-axis in the anti-clockwise direction. But this is not the slope, right? This is not the slope. No, this is not the slope. This is a very good way of measuring the slope. You could use this, but for mathematical convenience, which will happen later on, I will define the slope as tan theta, right? And this is the symbol for the slope. Symbol for the slope is m, and I will define the slope as tan theta, right? थोड़ा सा ऊपर लिख दिया मैंने, I'm sorry. So this tan theta is nothing but the tan of this angle, and we can actually work out the tan of this angle given the coordinates of 2 points on this straight line. So if I know that this point has a coordinate of x1 and a y coordinate of y1, and this point on the straight line has a coordinate x coordinate of x2 and a y coordinate of y2, right? Then basically what is happening is that the coordinates of this point are x2 comma y2, the coordinate of this point are x1 comma y1, right? And then we can construct a right angle triangle like so. And we have two corresponding angles, theta, so this will also be theta, and then we can have this as y2 minus y1, because remember that this distance is nothing but this distance minus this distance, and similarly this will be equal to x2 minus x1, which is nothing but this distance minus this distance, and tan theta we get equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is basically what we are going to use. This is the only equation, only formula, well, only formula that is new to you that I am going to use in this part of the chapter. So this I can write as delta y upon delta x. Okay, now coming to the second part of what we did in the last class, coming to the last part of what we did in the last class. So I showed you a video. अनु सर लास्ट क्लास वाला आखिरी वीडियो, लास्ट क्लास वाला आखिरी वीडियो एक बार दिखाइए. पॉसिबल है? नहीं तो छोड़ दीजिए. नहीं, ये वाला नहीं, आप यहाँ से अपने स्क्रीन में कोई मतलब नहीं है ना, छोड़ छोड़ दीजिए ना सर, हाँ छोड़ दीजिए, हाँ चलो. So in any case, what we were discussing was that we have a curve, right, and the curve was given by the equation y is equal to x square. What this means is that if you have the x coordinate of 1 here, then the y coordinate will be 1. If you have an x coordinate of 2 here, then the y coordinate will be 4. If you have an x coordinate of 3 here, then the y coordinate will be 9. If you have an x coordinate of x here, then the y coordinate will be x square. Okay, this is what we did. And what we did was we said that, look, the next point that I am choosing on this curve is x plus delta x. Okay, that means x plus some change in x, and the corresponding y coordinate would be x plus delta x ka whole square, right? And we said that if this delta x is very, very small, okay, and see, I don't want to write it like this, but right now I have to, but I will invent a symbol for this in a moment. In fact, that is going to be the main discussion of this lecture, how to replace this sentence. So if delta x is very, very small, right, we agreed that this part of the curve will look like a straight line. And if this is a straight line, then I know the coordinates of this point and I know the coordinates of this point. And since I know the coordinates of 2 points on a straight line, therefore I can work out the slope of the graph, right? So the coordinates of this point is x plus delta x comma x plus delta x whole square. And the coordinate of this point is x comma x square, right? So what we did was we said that, look, the slope has to be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Therefore, I just say that, look, this is x2, this is y2, this is x1, this is y1. So just let's place this in the formula, and when I do that, I'm going to get y2, which is x plus delta x whole square, minus y1, which is x square, divided by x2, which is x plus delta x, minus x1, which is x. Now we simply open the brackets. When we open the brackets, we get x plus delta x square plus delta x square plus 2x into delta x, right, minus x square whole divided by delta x, since x minus x has cancelled itself out. In the numerator, x square and x square goes away. And I also said that if delta x is very, very small, then delta x square or delta x cube or any higher power of delta x, you can approximate it to 0. And we are going to really see this today. We are going to really see this today. And somebody asked me at the end of the class, in the last class, a very, very good question, that is delta x also approximately 0? And I said, no, it is not. Okay, yes, it is not equal to 0. But when it is added, as we will see today, when it is added to a large number, then you can approximate it to 0. Right? After all, if I give you a 1 crore rupees ka bundle, and uske saath if I give you 1 rupee ka sikka, you take this also, you will not be interested in that 1 rupee wala coin, right? You will only be interested in the big amount. So delta x square goes to 0, and I am left with 2x delta x, right? And this I divide by delta x. So these two guys, they cancel out, and I get the slope of the graph as 2x, right? So this is equal to the slope of the graph of y is equal to x square, right? So y is equal to x square is simply an algebraic expression, जिसके लिए मैं एक table बना सकता हूँ, right? टेबल जो मैं बनाऊंगा उसमें पॉइंट्स आएंगे 1,1, 2,4, 3,9, 4,16 and so on, and I plot all the points, and when I plot all the points I get this curve, right? And this is telling me the slope of the curve. You will notice that the slope of the curve comes out to be dependent, or it contains the x coordinate. This means that when you are here, the slope of the graph will be such that tan theta is equal to 2. x का वैल्यू 1 रखेंगे, तो यहाँ पे जो straight line है which is part of the curve, right, this straight line will have a slope or will be at an angle such that tan of that angle is equal to 2, right? And I told you in the last class that we'll have to find this by using a scientific calculator. So if you open a scientific calculator, you will find that there is a button called tan inverse. ऐसा करके एक बटन आएगा, tan inverse, right? So you input 2 and you simply, I don't know whether you'll be able to see this or not. Let me show you. Let me try. So I don't know whether you can see this. So the scientific calculator app, all you have to do is 2, and then there is a button tan inverse or tan minus 1. Just press it and you get something like 63 degrees, right? 63 degrees. So here, despite my diagram is not very accurate. So the angle of this slope, or angle of this straight line at x equal to 1 should be around 63 degrees. And similarly, you can calculate the slope of all these straight lines that exist on this graph, right? Okay. Now what I want you to do, okay, what I want you to do, and I will give you lots of time to do it, so you have to do it very, very slowly, thoroughly, okay. What I want you to do is that I want you to find the slope of y is equal to x cube. Now I know some of you know how to do this instantaneously, and the rest of you will know by the end of this lecture, right? But I want you to find, I want everybody to find it like this. So basically you have to draw a graph, okay, you have to draw a graph, and then this graph will be y is equal to x cube. You will say 0, 0 is there. Then you will say 1, 1 is there. Then you will say 2, 8 is there, right? And then you will say 3, 27 is there. And then x, and then x plus delta x. Find out the corresponding y coordinates. Put it in this formula, right? And then please tell me the slope of the graph y is equal to x cube, right? I'll give you 5 minutes. I'll give you 5 minutes to do this, okay? So I'll be standing here only. Okay? I'll be standing here only. 5 minutes. Pause करिए. So I think most of you got the answer correct. Okay. There were two questions. Which I saw, which I want to talk about, right? हाँ, good. एक आध आंसर थोड़ा सा गलत है. Couple of answers are slightly wrong, but I'll tell you the correct answer. So two questions. Number one was, I think I'm being asked ये delta x क्या चीज़, right? Is it the final value of x minus the initial value of x? What is this? So that is a very, very valid question. Okay, and I'm going to answer it. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. Let me solve this question and then I will answer it. Okay. And then Amrit is asking a very, very nice question, and that is that if we found the slope of a straight line, can we find the whole curve? Absolutely right, Amrit. Yes, we can. Okay? Yes, we can. Right? And this is the part of something called differential equations, which you will see later on are an integral part of physics. Right? In fact, Newton's second law that you have, I'm sure that all of you have studied in class 9th and 10th, that is a differential equation, believe it or not, right? But you have not studied it as a differential equation. We will study it as a differential equation, okay, when we study motion. So very good question, guys. Very good questions. Okay. So now let me show you the solution to that question. अभी उसी पे रखिए. So the solution is that if we have the curve y is equal to x cube, then this coordinate x will give you a y coordinate of x cube, and this coordinate of x plus delta x, remember I'm going to explain delta x in a minute. In fact, I'm going to change it completely because this delta x will not suit our purposes in a moment. So this will be x plus delta x whole cubed, okay, and then I can find now the slope of this straight line, and this slope will be given by y2, which is this guy, x plus delta x whole cube minus y1, which is x cube, divided by x2, which is x plus delta x minus x1, which is x. Okay, notice that in the denominator we always end up with delta x. So what happens when I expand this? A plus b whole cube का formula सबको याद होना चाहिए. So this will be x cube plus delta x cube plus 3x delta x square, right? ये मुझसे मिट गया, sorry. Plus 3x square delta x minus x cube. Okay. So what do we do here? Well, x cube and x cube we get rid of. Okay. Delta x cube goes to 0, and this delta x square goes to 0. Remember that all higher powers of delta x are equal to 0. So I am left with 3x square delta x divided by delta x. Cancel this out and I get 3x square. Right? This is the slope of the graph y is equal to x cube. Okay? Right? Arnav. So Arnav is asking, if delta x is not 0, then how can delta x square be 0? Right? So delta x is equal to 0.00000001. Arnav, please tell me what is delta x square? Please tell me what is delta x square? I will show you this. Today I will show you. I'll show you everything. Why this is happening. Why do I take it as 0? I will show you everything. But first tell me what is this whole square. अगर मैं इसका square करूँगा तो क्या आएगा? If I square this, then what will happen? If I square this, then what will happen? If I square this, then what will happen? Yeah, it will be a smaller value. How small? It will be twice the number of zeros here, 1, right? So delta x square then I can take as 0. I will give you a better explanation. I will give you a better explanation. Just hold on. वो देख वेदांत ने लिख दिया, हाँ सही है. हाँ सिंबल अभी हम सिंबल सिद्धांत, हाँ अभी हम सिंबल, या I'll just tell you आराम से first please answer, has everybody understood basics of this? Basics of what? That I have chosen 2 x coordinates. The second x coordinate that I have chosen is a teeny tiny amount greater than the first x coordinate. And for these 2 x coordinates, I have found the 2 y coordinates for this graph. And then I assume that this looks like a straight line. And I have put everything in a formula which is y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. ये समझ में आया सबको? This is understood by all? No, delta x was not cancelled in the second step. No. Delta x was not cancelled in the second step. Delta x, this quantity is taken as 0. Delta x cube, this quantity is taken as 0. Right? So I actually took 0 here. This is 3x into 0, this is 0. So this goes away. X cube gets cancelled out. The only thing that I am left with in the numerator is this. Okay, the only thing that I am left with in the numerator is this. Okay, fine. ठीक है? आगे बढ़े? Okay, I think now I can start today's lecture. Okay. So अभी ये लॉकडाउन हुआ और ये लॉकडाउन में हमने क्या किया? हमने क्या किया तो हमने खूब सारी वेब सीरीज़ देखी. आई होप नॉट. हमने खूब सारा पुरानी मूवीज़ निपटा दी. नथिंग. अमृत झा ने कुछ नहीं किया अमृत तूने. हाँ. So what did you guys do in the lockdown, right? That is the question. So normally what Amrit is saying and what Aditya is saying, YouTube सो रहा था अद्वैत, हाँ बिल्कुल. Oh, Sanyukt, very nice art. So you did something constructive, right? Good. Good. So most of us, very good Siddhant, very good. So most of us, Smith ने अच्छा काम किया. So most of us, we did some constructive work, okay, and most of us, we did a lot of non-constructive work, right? That is what happens. That is what happens when you are confined to home. But there was another time when there was another lockdown, okay, and the year is 1665, and there is a lockdown similar to this one. The disease was different. It was not corona, it was something else. It was called the Great Plague, but there is a lockdown, right? Everybody is isolating themselves because they know that this is something which spreads with contact from an infected person. So just like your schools have been closed down for the past 1 year, in 1665, 1666, the schools were closed down, right? And in this 1 year, there was a scientist, there was a physicist, जिसका मैं photo दिखाता हूँ. I wonder if you can recognize this guy. So the scientist, his name, you have to tell me हाँ, फोटो दिखाइए भाई, फोटो, ये रही फोटो. I hope everybody recognizes this guy, right? He is going to be the person जिसको 2 साल में हम या तो बहुत अप्रिशिएट करेंगे या फिर हम बोलेंगे अरे ये क्यों आया इस दुनिया में, right? So what is the name of this person? What is the name of this person? Yeah, very good, Isaac Newton. So Isaac Newton, he went into lockdown. He went into lockdown in 1665, 1666, and he invented, literally invented this chapter that we are going to study. He literally invented the concept of calculus. And at the core of the concept, which I think has been recognized by a lot of you, the core of the concept is the quantity called delta x, right? This is the core of the concept. Okay, how do I say that delta x square is 0? डेल्टा x क्या चीज है? कितने जीरो होने चाहिए कि वो डेल्टा x हो जाए? कितने जीरो होने चाहिए कि ये इतना कम डिस्टेंस हो जाए that this definitely looks like a straight line? Because if I am going to take one coordinate here and one coordinate here, then definitely the thing is not going to look like a straight line. It is going to look like a curve only. So how close should I take these 2 points that it is guaranteed that the curve looks like a straight line? Okay, this is the question that Newton asked himself, and he tried to answer in that lockdown period, right? In that year that he was in isolation. So he invented a lot of things in that year, right? Very wonderful year for science. In fact, that's the beginning of science as we know it. So what he says is that to get a straight line here, to get a straight line, this delta x must be infinitesimally small. Infinitesimally small. Right? But how do you deal with such numbers? What do we mean infinitesimally small? Well, infinitesimally small means that the number of zeros here must be infinite, must be extremely, extremely large, too large for us to count. And I am not going to write that number on the board right now. In fact, I can't write that number, or nobody can write that number. It is so small. So what this guy does, what Newton does, is that he invents a symbol for it, right? So he invents a symbol for it, and this is dx. Okay, so this represents an infinitesimally small interval. Okay, this represents an infinitesimally small interval on the x-axis. Okay, so what is the meaning of delta x, right? It is absolutely correct statement that delta x means the change in something, change of x. It is equal to the final value of x minus the initial value of x. Okay, and when I say that this is x plus delta x, I literally mean that this is the final value, this is the initial value. In दोनों का जो difference है, that is delta x. But this delta x can be this also. Okay, this delta x can be this also. This delta x can be this quantity, no problems. This change in x, right? But to guarantee that the graph looks like a straight line, this delta x must be infinitesimally small. That is what Newton said. That is the core of everything we are going to study. Again, remember that this quantity is a single object. Single object. It is not d multiplied by x. Okay, it is dx. This is read as dx. x. Okay, and what it means is infinitely small change in x. Okay, right? This is what it means. Delta x can be big. Delta x can be the difference between these two guys. Delta x can be the difference between these two guys. Delta x can be the difference between these two guys. Delta x can be the difference between these two guys. Delta x is simply change in. An infinitesimally small change in, right, is dx. Okay, so Siddhant is asking, if the change is too small, why don't we neglect it altogether? Okay, so that is the whole point of the exercise, and I will show you. Abhi hum discuss karenge. So what we have done up till now, y is equal to x square, the slope is equal to 2x, right? This is what we have done. I want to write this in a different way. Okay, I want to write this in a different way because I know that the slope is nothing but y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Therefore, I can say that y2 minus y1 is the change in y divided by x2 minus x1, which is change in x. Okay, right? Now, this change in x is going to be infinitesimally small, so I will write it as dx. And this change in y is also going to be infinitesimally small, so I write it like this. So instead of writing slope, I can also write this quantity, which is read as dy by dx, right? So the slope slope is equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Yes, absolutely. But if you were to take this as an infinitesimally small period, if you were to take this as an infinitesimally small interval here, then you would write it as dx, and the corresponding change in y would be equal to dy, right? So this is another way of writing slope. I'm just writing this in a separate way. This is the new symbol, right? This is the new language, and slowly we are going to learn the meaning of this new language. I would like to show you the meaning of this language in two ways. One is mathematically, which we have been doing, and the other is physically. Okay. Harshita is asking, how many zeros can there be in delta x? Delta x is, Harshita, is simply the change in. So delta x का मतलब हुआ x में कितना change हुआ. वो इतना भी हो सकता है, 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 कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता. लेकिन dx हमेशा infinitely small change होएगा. Delta x can be any change. Okay, what is the delta t of your duration in class 7? 1 year. Okay, what is the delta t? Delta t का मतलब change in time of your duration in class 8? 1 year. Okay, dx is an infinite. You cannot say that I stayed in class 8th for dt time. Dt would represent an infinitesimally small interval of time. Okay, so first I want to show you the mathematical meaning of what we have discussed here, which is just exactly the same as what we have discussed, and then I will show you the physical meaning. I would like to show you the physical meaning of what we have done here, right? Okay. So first, let's see the mathematical meaning, but before that, I want to just tell you another symbol that we will use. So instead of y, we can use y can also be written as this guy. Okay, and this is read as f of x. Okay, this is read as f of x. What does it mean? You remember in class 5 or 6 when algebra was introduced. Okay, you remember in class 5 or 6 when algebra was introduced, your teacher said that if you don't know a number, assume it to be x. और वहाँ से जो है कहानी शुरू हुई कई बच्चों की कि हमें तो समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा क्या है ये, तो बेचारे मैथ्स से डर लगने लग गया. Right, but this is actually a very logical thing if you think about it. You don't know a number, what do? Well, if you don't know a number, you assume that that number is represented by something which is not a number. So the next obvious choice is an alphabet. We assume that the number is x. And then as you move forward in class, as you move ahead in class, so you go to class 6, you go to class 7, you are introduced to simple equations, something like, 3x minus 1.5 is equal to minus 15 is equal to 0, right? So this is an equation that you have to solve. And I remember, or you will remember, in class 5th and 6th, this used to look like ye kya hai. But this is easy now. X is equal to 5. We know this, right? So I'm not interested in the equation itself. I'm interested in this expression of x. And when you were in class 10th, you were introduced to quadratic equations which were of the form something like x square minus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Again, I'm not interested in the equation, I'm not interested in the solution, I'm interested in this guy. This is the expression of x. This is a structure, this is an algebraic structure involving the variable x, right? So if you don't know a number, you assume it to be x, but if you don't know an expression of x, you assume it to be this. Okay, right? अगर आपको नंबर अननोन है तो आपने बोला लेट द नंबर बी एक्स, ठीक है, ओके. लेकिन अगर हमारे पास कोई एक्सप्रेशन है एक्स का, एल्जेब्रिक एक्सप्रेशन है एक्स का, और हमें नहीं मालूम क्या है, तो वी विल अज्यूम इट टू बी एफ एक्स. Finally, of course, when you solve this, you will write x equal to 5, or when you solve this, you will write x equal to 2 and 3. But when you solve this, you will write fx is equal to whatever the expression is. Right? So instead of writing y is equal to x square, I can also write fx is equal to x square, and this would carry the same meaning. This would carry the absolute same meaning. Nothing different, right? So basically, we say that y is some expression of x. Y is some expression of x. This is the way to write this. Okay. Just another. So you know the. Okay. So now I want to show you the physical meaning. Now that I hope if anybody is having any trouble with the notation, with the alphabets of the new language, please tell me. The three things that I have. Yes, absolutely, Siddhant. Yes. You assumed y to be f of x, which represents the equation. So basically y is telling us the equation of x. Absolutely. Well, the word equation you are using thoda sa galat. Equation ka matlab hota hai that there is something equal to this, but I know what you mean. You mean this thing, right? This expression. So fx represents this expression. Y is equal to this expression. Y is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6 I can write. So I can replace that by fx is equal to f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay. So the three things, कौन सा Smith, कौन सा left side, कौन सा left side, which left side? ये वाला? हाँ, एक मिनट. Will delta y be equal to the difference in the equations of x? Yes, yes it will. Yes. मैं भी दिखाऊंगा. संयोग, don't worry. M is equal to slope बच्चा. M is equal to slope y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. That is what we derived from the straight line, right? You were there in the last class, na, Smith? Last class में you were there or not? अभी मैंने revise भी किया ना? Oh, Smith नहीं था. अच्छा, ठीक. So what you do, Smith, is you look at the video of the last class. It is there on YouTube. You look at the video of the last class and you will understand what this formula is. It is nothing but for a straight line, I have defined tan theta as the slope. So tan theta is equal to opposite side over adjacent side. This is the length of the opposite side. This is the length of the adjacent side. How did I get this right angle triangle where this was the opposite side, where this was the adjacent side? Look at the video of the last class and you will understand. It is not difficult at all. It's not difficult at all. Okay. So before we move ahead with more calculus, I would like to show you the mathematical meaning and the physical meaning, right? Okay. So first we'll deal with the mathematical meaning. हाँ, वीडियो पहला. हाँ, शुरू से लगेगा. So this is a wonderful YouTube channel I found. It is called 3 Blue 1 Brown, and I got this from there. Very, very nice. Okay, मेरे को देखना पड़ेगा अनुज सर, मेरे को स्क्रीन देखनी पड़ेगी तभी मैं बता पाऊँगा. हाँ, एक बार फिर से शुरू करिए वीडियो को. Okay, so we are seeing y is equal to f of x equal to x square का ग्राफ बना दिया. Now you see what they do. ये dx कहाँ exist कर रहा है, right? You can see, right? dx कहाँ exist कर रहा है. तो df by dx का मतलब हुआ change in y upon change in x. Change in y you can see वो zoomed in portion में df है और नीचे dx, right? And we want to find that. We have in fact found it. So if you go up, you will see that df increases, dx remains the same. If you come down, you see that dx remains the same, df decreases. So what you can do is, if this is a very small part of the curve, right? If this is a very small part of the curve, then you can actually draw a straight line like this, and this will be the tangent to the curve, right? Another ये वीडियो को फिर से प्ले करिए. हाँ, तो this will be the tangent to the curve. Okay, tangent, I hope everybody knows the meaning of tangent to the curve. मेरे को chat window चाहिए. Everybody knows the meaning of tangent to the curve, right? Tangent to the curve सबको मालूम है ना क्या होता है? Okay, great. So the slope of the tangent to the curve, let's say that this angle is theta, is the slope of this straight line. That is what this video is trying to explain. Okay, so you see the tangent to the curve, जब ये slope, जब ये इस पॉइंट पे अगर मेरे को स्लोप निकालनी है तो ये टेंजेंट बना और इस लाइन का स्लोप 0 है बिकॉज इट मेक्स एन एंगल ऑफ 0 डिग्रीज विद द एक्स एक्सिस, राइट? ओके, सो दिस इज द मैथमेटिकल मीनिंग. ओके, दिस इज द मैथमेटिकल मीनिंग. कैन एफ एक्स बी द सेम एज एक्स? हाँ, हो सकता है. No, so you are saying that you want to write fx as that? No, you can't do that. No, you can't write fx as x. नहीं, you can write fx as y. हाँ, फिर से करता हूँ. फिर से प्ले करिए वीडियो को. So this is y is equal to x square का graph, and we want to find the slope. So what we do is that around 2 we draw very two fine lines, जो मैंने ये बनाया है x और x plus delta x. ये उसका dx है और ये उसका dy है. This is the change in y, this is the change in x. Right? वहाँ पे वो dy की जगह df लिख रहे हैं, which is okay because y and fx are same. तो dy अगर मैं लिखूंगा मतलब कि df, change in f, change in y, change in x. तो जो slope है that is equal to this upon this, right? And as we move along the curve at different points, you see that this quantity keeps on changing, this quantity remains same, and therefore the slope of the graph at different points keeps on changing, right? Okay, I'll show it once again, please. So this is the graph, y is equal to x square. We want to find the slope. Another name for slope is derivative, वही वो pi वाला character बोल रहा है. So I draw two lines here and I see that this is the y, change in y, this is the change in x. I divide these two to get df by dx. Okay? अगर मैं ग्राफ में ऊपर जाऊंगा तो ये df और बड़ा होता जाएगा, और अगर मैं ग्राफ में नीचे आऊंगा तो ये df और छोटा होता जाएगा. Therefore, the slope of the graph here will be small and the slope of the graph here will be large. Right? That is what they are trying to say. नहीं, dy is not fx बच्चा. No, हर्षवर्धन, no. dy is not fx. dy, ये जो आप d लगा देते हो ना किसी के सामने, तो it represents an infinite small change in that quantity. So dy would be an infinite small change in y. df would be infinite small change in f. Okay? In f of x. Is this okay? हर्षवर्धन, अभी आया समझ में? Okay. हाँ, पार्थ लिखने का तरीका वही है. So Parth is absolutely right. We should actually write this as dy is equal to d of f of x, but again this is too long, right? I'm too lazy to write. इतना लंबा मैं नहीं लिखने वाला हूँ, मेरे बस की बात नहीं. ठीक है? ओके, आया समझ में? हाँ. Now I want to show you the physical meaning. Okay, I want to show you the physical meaning of the meaning of the slope of this, meaning of the change. What do we mean by change, right? So let's start with the video. हाँ, मेरे को वहाँ पे जाना पड़ेगा अनुज सर, मेरे को वहाँ पे, हाँ. So basically what is happening is that we have a square, okay, where one side is x and the other side is x. So you have a square who has an area which has an area of x square. Now I increase it by a very small amount. dx इधर increase कर दिया, dx इधर increase कर दिया. So you can see now what the change in area is, right? You can see what the change in area is. It consists of those two large rectangular pieces plus that small square, okay? So the area of the rectangular piece, the yellow piece, is x into dx, because remember the width of the yellow piece is dx, and the length of the yellow piece is x, right? So that is 2x dx. But the small square has side and has the side of dx, therefore its area is dx square, right? And dx square would be a number which would be very, very small if the value of dx is, they have taken 0.01. It actually should be 0.0000 something 1, right? So we have dx square is neglected. It is safe to ignore. Usko hata diya humne, right? And then we get df, or the change in area of the square, is equal to 2x dx. And then we simply divide dx ko idhar le aaye, so we get the slope df by dx is equal to 2x, right? Okay. ये अमृत तू क्या क्या भेज रहा है, मुझे समझ में नहीं आ रहा है अमृत. ये कौन सा इमोजी है, मेरे को यहाँ से दिखाई नहीं दे रहा है, लिख के भेजना पड़ेगा. अच्छा, अंगूठा दिखा रहा है क्या? अच्छा. इसको फिर से इसको अभी हम फिर से प्ले करते हैं. फिर से I'll play this again. So we have fx is equal to x square, right? Which represents a square of side x, and I change the square slightly. I increase the length and the other side, the breadth, by dx, and then the change in area is what df is, dy is. This is the physical meaning of the rate of change of x square, the rate of change of x cube abhi karenge, we'll do x cube in a moment. So this is the yellow two rectangles and the small yellow square is the change in area, and the value of the size, value of the area of the two yellow rectangles is fx into dx, right? Ha, Siddhant, if dx square is included, will it change the overall answer? No, it will not. No, it will not. I mean, if you start adding zeros to everything, it will not change the answer, right? Ha, dy equal to df, yes, Prasu, yes, dy equal to df, yes. In this video, dy equal to df, yes, yes, yes. Okay, now I want to play this video again. Okay, I want to play this video again. And I will show you something. अब मैं सबके सवालों का जवाब देने वाला हूँ. Okay, I'll answer the question that has been nagging you. ये dx को neglect क्यों, dx square को neglect क्यों कर रहे हैं, right? I want to answer this question finally now. इसमें जो इन्होंने x, जो yellow rectangle और जो yellow square लिया है, that is for visual purposes. Okay, this is for visual purpose, ताकि आपको दिखाई दे कि हाँ हमने change किया है. In reality, dx is going to be infinitesimally small, right? And they are going to reduce it. In a moment, they will reduce it. Just wait. First, of course, they will say that 3 अगर होएगा तो 2 into 3 into 0.1 is the rate of change of the area of this square. अगर इस square का area 5 होता तो उसका rate of change दूसरा होता. But now look what they are going to do. Okay? Look at the video. Look carefully at the video. ये जो 0.01 है, okay? ये 0.001 हो गया. Maybe अभी neglect नहीं कर सकते, maybe, right? That I agree. But look at what they have done. वो dx को छोटा कर दिया, और जैसे ही dx को छोटा किया, dx square virtually गायब हो गया. I hope everybody saw that. जैसे ही उन्होंने dx को छोटा किया, जैसे ही dx को छोटा किया, गायब हो गया dx square. Okay, and I hope this answers your question कि dx square को मैं include करूं या नहीं करूं. Okay, right? Okay. So this is the physical explanation of y is equal to x square का derivative. अगर बड़ा होएगा x square का वैल्यू तो उसका जो चेंज ऑफ एरिया, जो उसका रेट ऑफ चेंज ऑफ एरिया है, उसका वैल्यू भी बड़ा होगा. इट मेक्स सेंस. इफ यू हैव अ स्मॉल स्क्वायर एंड इफ यू चेंज इट बाय एन इनफाइनाइटेसिमल अमाउंट, then the rate of change of area will be small. But if you have a large square and if you change the dimensions of that large square by an infinitesimal amount, there the change is going to be more, here it is going to be small. Just like saying that here the slope is going to be less, here the slope is going to be large. Okay, right? Okay, now let's see the physical interpretation of the differentiation of x cubed. Okay, so the next video is the physical interpretation of the video x cube. पहले उसको हटाइए, हाँ, वापस वहाँ पे चलना पड़ेगा अनुज सर. हाँ, तो ये तो हमने ऑलरेडी वर्कआउट किया है, राइट? दिस ऑलरेडी वी हैव वर्कड आउट. Here is the physical representation. So you have a cube of side x, right? And if you want to change the x value by a slight amount, you are changing the volume of the cube. You are changing the volume of the cube by these yellow objects that they have made, right? And when you make this very, very small, when you make this very, very small, when you make dx very, very small, you will find that the change in, look, they have made it very, very small. So वो dot और line का जो area है, जो volume है, वो ये yellow sheets के volume से बिल्कुल negligible small हो गया, right? तो एक square sheet का जो volume है, that is x square into dx, because x square उसका surface area है, into dx, that is the thickness. तो इसमें जो change in volume हुआ वो 3x square dx plus जो yellow line और dot के volumes हैं, but उनको हमने neglect कर दिया, right? And we get df by dx as 3x square, which is what you have found here, which is exactly what you have found. Which is exactly what you have found. Okay, right? एक बार फिर से. Now you can see this channel on YouTube, but उनका content थोड़ा सा आप लोग के level से थोड़ा ऊपर रहता है. So I only have taken out the portion which is relevant to us. See again, volume of the cube of side x is x cube. If I change the dimensions of the cube by a dx amount, then the extra volume added, yes, then the extra volume added is 3x square dx for the ये जो ऊपर वाले yellow sheets हैं, plus the volume of those rods and those dots. But when you make dx very, very small, the volume of the rods and the dot, they are really not going to matter, right? So the change in volume would be 3x square dx only, and therefore df by dx would be equal to 3x square. Okay? Such a nice way of physical representation, right, of calculus. Imagine in 1665 Newton actually did this in his head. उसको आईटी की तैयारी नहीं करनी थी, उसको बोर्ड एग्जाम में नंबर नहीं लेके आना था, इसीलिए उसने कर दिया. Okay? चलो. So please write this down, whatever is on the board. Please write this down. Okay? I'll give you a couple of minutes to write this down. And then we will arrive finally at some conclusion of this lecture. Okay? So I'll just be standing here. नहीं, आपने पहले नंबर को वो नहीं किया, देखिए right. So I hope you have written everything down. Okay guys, now we are coming to the conclusion of this chapter. So y is equal to x, okay. So the हाँ, ये वीडियो रिमूव कर दीजिए, ये वाला अनुज सर, हाँ इसको रिमूव कर दीजिए. हाँ, y is equal to x, what will be the slope of this graph? Well, I don't need to apply any formula here because y is equal to x would be a straight line, and I can find very easily the slope of this straight line because I know the coordinates of all the points on the straight line. The coordinates of this point is 1, 1, coordinate of this point is 2, 2, coordinate of this point is 3, 3, right? So the slope is simply equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1, which is 1, right? Basically, this makes an angle of 45 degrees. So tan 45, if you remember from your class 9th and 10th, is 1. So y is equal to x, the slope is equal to 1. Y is equal to x square, right? We found that the slope was equal to 2x. Y is equal to x cube, we found that the slope was equal to 3x square. Okay. Now, I want you to use your powers of deduction, and in the last class we talked about looking at patterns, right? So what will be the slope of y is equal to x to the power 4? Please tell me, please type, look at the pattern and tell me the, very good, yes, excellent, yes. Everybody should be typing, everybody should be able to tell me that the slope of this graph will be equal to 4x cube, right? See what is happening here? यहाँ पे जो पावर है वो नीचे आ जा रहा है और ऊपर का पावर 1 से कम हो जा रहा है. यहाँ जो पावर है नीचे आ गया, x स्क्वायर का x हो गया. यहाँ जो पावर है उसका नीचे आ गया और 3 का 2 हो गया. 4 नीचे आ जाएगा, 4 का 3 हो जाएगा, right? Okay. And I want you to now tell me the slope of y is equal to x power 5. What will be the slope of this guy? What will be the slope of this guy? Yes, excellent. Y is equal to 5x raised to the power 4. Okay, right? Very nice. Yes. हाँ, अनुज सर, अब आप वीडियो प्ले कर दीजिए और वो you don't need to pause, अनुज सर. हाँ, पॉज करने की जरूरत नहीं, चलने दीजिए. हाँ. So what do you think will be the slope of y is equal to x power n? What will be the slope of x power n? X power n, and there it is. Nx raised to the power n minus 1. Nx raised to the power n minus 1. Right? So this is called the power rule. Please notice that the person in the video has written things slightly differently as compared to me. I have written slope, whereas that guy has written something else, right? What is the difference? Where is it the same or is it different? Well, it is actually absolutely the same, because the slope, remember, is y2 minus y1. Yes, it is y2 minus y1, that is change in y upon change in x, right? But here y is equal to x, so I can write this as dx by dx. This is equal to 1. I can write this as, this slope as d2x by dx, it equal to, x square equal to 2x. I can write this as d by dx, इसको d by dx बोलेंगे, that we'll discuss in the next class anyways, is equal to 3x square. Okay, so this is the new notation now. This is the most modern notation. This is what we are going to use. Okay, right? नहीं स्मिथ, नहीं प्रूफ नहीं करना है, प्रूफ कर दिया मैंने, हो गया, इतना प्रूफ बहुत है. This is it, this is proof enough. Okay, so I hope everybody understood what I was trying to teach today. What you have to do, okay, what you have to do is that, please write this down. I'm here, I'm talking, but please write this down. ये वीडियो हटा दीजिए ना सर. So what will happen is that I will be dx square is equal to, नहीं बच्चा, dx square is equal to 2x dx. dx square is equal to 2x dx. But अभी नहीं, अभी don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Parth, don't worry about it. dx square is not equal to 0. No. dx square will be, this will go here 2x dx, but we'll see that later. We'll see that later. Which graph is not visible, हर्षिता? ग्राफ तो बनाया नहीं. अच्छा ये वाला क्या? ये वाला केवल स्ट्रेट लाइन बनाया हर्षिता. y is equal to x का ग्राफ बनाया. y is equal to x का ग्राफ बनाया. ये 1,1 है, 2,2 है, 3,3 है. ठीक है, फिर उसके बाद से मैंने उसका स्लोप निकाल दिया. हाँ, so what you have to do from the next class, not from this class, I will show you a different approach to this. So I have shown you the mathematical approach, I have shown you the physical approach, I have shown you the physical meaning, I have told you the mathematical meaning, but there is more to it. Okay? There is more to it, and that is what we will discuss in the next session, right? And by that time, by the end of next session, you should be good at differential calculus. Okay, this is what we are learning, differential calculus. This is what Newton imagined without the help of anyone. This is what he invented, literally invented out of thin air. That is why we consider Newton to be one of the greatest scientists ever. Okay, chalo. So I hope you guys understood what I tried to teach you today. Can't we approximate dx as Planck length? Oof. So you know what is Planck length, Abhinav? You know how to get Planck length. You know the concept of Planck length. Planck length कैसे आता है मालूम है तेरे को? Anybody else knows the concept of Planck length? Yeah, so there was this guy basically, Abhinav, he was trying to play around with constants. Planck's constant, yes. So there was this guy who was trying to play around with universal constants. He thought that there is some sort of hidden message in these universal constants. After all, y is the speed of light, 3 into 10 power 8 meters per second. Why not something else? It's not actually 3, it is 2.99 something. Why is the Planck's constant what it is, which you have heard about? Speed of light you have heard about. Have all of you heard about the universal gravitational constant? Have all of you heard about the universal gravitational constant? Another one of Newton's discoveries in that wonderful year, 1665, 1666. So this guy is asking himself, I don't know the name of this guy, so this guy is asking himself कि भाई ये जो अपने universal constants हैं, are they trying to convey a message? So basically what it does is, he takes this G, he takes this C, and he takes this H. Okay, now I have written, I have not written H, I have written something else. This is basically a notation, another symbol basically. The world of physics is just symbols. This is Planck's constant divided by 2 pi, right? So he basically takes these guys, he takes these 3 guys and tries to write them such that their units cancel out and we get a single unit answer. Okay. So in fact this is an exercise that we are going to do eventually when we study units and dimensions. So it's something like you write G square C cube divided by H power 4, something like that, I don't know. So if you do this, then what will happen is that you get the units of something. So he played around with these, these universal constants, and when he got to the unit of length, the calculated value of this object he called Planck length. When he got to the units of time, he said that the calculated value of this object he called Planck time. Okay, and if you go to mass, then you get the value of Planck mass. So Planck length, which comes out to be around 10 raised to the power minus 35 meters, is a wonderful, apparently it turns out, is a wonderful quantity. It turns out that all the laws of physics are meaningless below this distance. Okay, all the laws of physics are meaningless below this distance. We don't know how space-time will behave. We don't know how anything will behave. Dimensional analysis, yes, that is the chapter's name. तो आपके NCERT के 11th वाले book में it will be the first chapter. So we don't know how things behave at these lengths. We don't know whether space is a continuous thing at this teeny tiny distance, right? So what Abhinav is saying, why don't we take dx as that distance? Abhinav, the answer is that I was just reading, I was just looking at those videos that I just showed you, and there was a quote by Einstein that anything which is I don't remember it exactly, but it was something like anything which is real cannot really be approximated, and anything which is approximated is our physics, something like that. Okay? So this is reality. Planck length is some real length. This is a hypothetical length. This is hypothetical. This is hypothetical. This goes much below that. I don't know where it goes. This is just an idea, just like infinity as a concept. We have dx as a concept. Okay. Anybody knows Abhinav? Anybody else apart from Abhinav? Abhinav, if you know, अगर यहाँ पे टाइम आ जाएगा तो ये Planck टाइम की क्या खासियत? What is so special about Planck time? Anybody know the value of Planck time? Abhinav, मालूम है value of Planck time? Planck length मालूम है तो I'm sure Planck time भी मालूम होगा. Oh, very nice, yes. 10 raised to the power minus 42 seconds. That is the value of Planck time. Okay, 10 raised to the power minus 42 seconds. That is the value of Planck time. And it comes up naturally for some reason. And it seems that from the Big Bang, okay, from the Big Bang up till now, we know almost everything that has happened. Well, we think we know almost everything that has happened up till the point 10 raised to the power minus 42 seconds. So when the universe started, when the Big Bang started at t is equal to 0 and at t is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 42 seconds, we don't know what happened in that duration. After t is equal to 10 raised to the power minus 42 seconds, we have an idea of what happened. But beyond that, we don't know what happened. Okay, so these are all very fascinating concepts, and we will be dealing with them when we get sort of थोड़ा सा boring हो जाएगा, तो I will try to go into these topics to entertain, right? This is entertainment. But this is something that you have to do later on, but this is something that you have to do, okay? What happened at t is equal to, क्या मालूम क्या हुआ भाई, हम लोग न्यूटन्स लॉज पढ़ लें चिंतन, वही बहुत बड़ी बात. But at that time we know that forces came into existence. Electrostatic force, nuclear force, right? We know it came into existence. We will discuss all these things in more detail at the end of class 12th when I teach you modern physics. Then I will be in a better position, you will be in a better position to understand what I'm trying to teach, what I'm saying, okay? ठीक है, तो I will see you guys in the next lecture, okay? And please read lecture 1 and 2 of the book that has been sent, and if you have time, please try to do the questions as well. Chalo, okay. Bye bye. Bye bye. Recording stop कर दीजिए.